In today's video, I will be showing you all and demonstrating as well how to moisturize synthetic braiding hair for wigs and for your braids as well. This goes for no matter what the texture is. If it is straight, the same tips apply. If it's wavy, if it's very defined, curly, water wave, deep wave, ripple wave, and ocean wave. It does not matter the texture. So today that's what I'm going to show you all how to do is to moisturize synthetic hair. Now most of you are probably thinking I'm going to do quite a bit of talking now this time around because this is a tutorial on how to moisturize synthetic braiding hair and for synthetic hair on wigs. Most people think, man, can you moisturize? You moisturize synthetic hair? You look, if you wear synthetic hair of any kind, look, this is a no judgment zone. I wear both synthetic and human hair. Okay. If you're wearing synthetic hair, you can't treat it with you can't treat it like you don't care. Especially if you're a person that, maybe you buy 5 wigs and it's like you rotate them. Okay, I know all about that. You still got to take care of synthetic hair in order to make it last longer until you can, replace it or add another to the bunch. You see what I'm saying? So this is a perfect opportunity being that I finished this lace closure wig yesterday. Finished adding hair. Okay. So let's lock in. Now I'll be muting at certain points where there's background noise or potentially copyrighted material or background television, whatever. But for the most part, I'll be actively answering your questions or addressing the comments. So that sounds like something interesting to you. You want to know how to take better care of your synthetic wigs, synthetic braided hair, all that. This is the correct spot for you. All right, so the first thing you want to do when you're dealing with a synthetic wig, whether you've made it with synthetic braiding hair or you bought it as is, you done bought it from one of the online stores from one of the wig girlies, okay? The first thing you want to do is separate the hair into sections. We've already done that. It pays to prep. This is the lace closure. This has already been moisturized. However, we got a couple more sections we need to work on. So I've already tried on this. I've already did this prior to this tutorial, okay? So this is where you're going to need hair ties without the metal in the middle, the old school ones. Don't get the old school one, get the ouchless ones. I think that's what most of them, what they call them when they first got on the scene. Take your wig and separate into sections. Separate if it got a closure or if it has a section of lace, you separate it from there and use hair ties to do that. And then you braid, you plait. I always call it braid. It's plaiting when it hangs loose like this. You plait those sections into about a good 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Closure off by itself or the section of lace by itself. Left side, right side, back here. That's going to cause you to be able to work very efficiently with what you got going on, okay? Section first into 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. The section of lace, whether it's 13 by 6, 6 by 6, 7 by 7, 4 by 4, or 5 by 5, or 13 by 5, 13 by 4. Separate the lace from the wig and put it in hair ties and plait it off. You're gonna work much more efficiently. You're gonna work much more faster when you're going into it that way. You feel me? Okay. Now, you want to take an unravel, unbraid, unplait, whatever it's called. your section of hair you're getting ready to work on. Okay, so this is a very nice thickum section. It's got some waves in it because I lightly braided it. Most of y'all saw me do that yesterday or a couple days ago. All right, so you're going to need shea butter, a block of it. Unrefined is what I recommend because on this channel, whether I'm talking about hair, nails, feet, pedicure, body care, perfume, or perfume oil, no matter what I'm talking about, I don't like to ever recommend anything unless I've personally tried it because one, that's just not honest. Two, I don't want to give the wrong impression. We're not doing that. Okay? Now, you have your shea butter off to the side. I recommend unrefined. I can't recommend refined because I don't know how that work on here. You want to section off about this much, no matter the length or texture. This is really fun because if you have like curly or wavy hair, or if you're doing the braid out with this, oh, them curls gonna be super defined. And I find that as a person that has used gel, pomade, and everything else, when I started putting shea butter on my synthetic wigs, I'm just like, what? It defined better and it lasted longer, and I didn't have to reapply. And the best part is it don't leave. Sorry, it's not proper English. Look, I'm being myself. Using shea butter on your synthetic hair, especially curly, it leaves it so defined. It does not leave residue. You ever use the edge control that just leave residue and it got a white cast? Not with shea butter, unrefined. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all in the comments. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. All right, so section off about this much. Once you do that, I would recommend, now I tried doing it with the rest of the hair loose that I'm not currently working on. We're going to lightly braid this back off to the side. You need to always be sectioning it off to the side while you're working on one particular area until you get to the other area. You see what I'm saying? If not, rewind it back. Take notes. This is the type of video, I do a lot of videos where you're gonna need to take notes, okay? Because I want you to be well informed, because what I know from experience is a well informed person is a confident person. That's what I aim for. Just like I want you to be confident going into stores, I want you to be confident whipping this synthetic or human hair back and forth. And it's glossy and it's defined and you don't have flyaways. Okay? Yeah. I want you to look your best and feel your best, but I don't want you to forget that who gives you this knowledge, who gives you that the Bible says we are the salt of the earth. Those with a relationship with God. I want you to have that flavor. God give you that flavor. Okay. Appreciate y'all leaving them comments. So let me lock in and show you how I do the first section of this whole section. Okay. First thing you want to do, detangle the hair. I taught that a couple videos back where I said whenever you're doing your natural hair, detangling is the key, because the smoother that comb run through this hair, regardless of texture, we working with straight, the same thing goes for curly, the smoother it is because you detangle first before you add any product, before you add anything, before you even add heat, the smoother, the quicker it's going to go. It's going to save you a lot of time if you detangle first. So we detangled it to a certain point. Now let's get the shea butter. I want you to watch what I do. Buy yourself a block. It's gonna come in handy. Take a look at that healthy looking ends versus before we applied the shea butter. That's just one application, and it stays in the hair for weeks. We have one section done. Now I want you to notice the difference. Even though it's braided, it looks a hair bit lighter because it's drier. It doesn't have no product versus all this luscious goodness here. All that shininess. No application versus application. One application of shea butter. Now I'm going to show it to you again. I'm going to put this off to the side here. We did this other side yesterday, so we ain't got to worry about it. I can literally still smell the stuff in the hair. I can smell it. That's a surefire, that's a way to make sure you really effectively perfume your hair. If you want to, that's a way of prepping your hair for you spraying hair perfume on it. Add the shea butter first. Shea butter pretty much holds anything, and then spray it. Oh, your hair smell like that for months, for weeks, weeks. Now after a while, with natural wear, it'll wear out and return back to its regular scent. So just warning you. So forgive me for that, Lord, forgive me. It don't last for months, it lasts for a couple weeks. Okay. I would really have to do a test to see if it lasts a month, but it lasts a good couple number of weeks, definitely. All right, so let's section this off another piece, and I want you to watch me again do it. There's a reason why. I know most people are probably like, well, why is she doing? Why is she showing us again? There's some people that need to see it again for the instructions in order to run it back, okay, so they can get it. All right. There's nothing wrong with you if you need to see something again in order to learn, because we're different. We're all different learners here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you another section. Now we got our section we finna work on. Okay, so I'm gonna show you one more time. Moisturize versus not moisturized. Nope, application versus no application. I'm gonna show you how to do it one more time. M-O. You're saying how much? I ain't decided whether or not I want to sell these or not. It's, as you can see, if you've been here rocking with me during the blonde one and some of the purple one, or you've been here all the way through both, shout out to you, whoever you are. I ain't decided to sell these yet, but they gonna be in a certain range if I ever decide. Cause you're not just paying for synthetic don't last that long. Do you see the synthetic wigs now today that they reviewing the wig girlies? $50 now. They used to never have the 13 by 4, the 13 by 6. I was trying to think of that earlier when I was mentioning the lace portions. Baby, yeah. I have to decide whether or not definitely have to think about that. Definitely have to pray about that. Whether or not I want to sell these wigs I'm making, because these are made to last you a little bit. Okay, yeah. Let's lock back in. I got a lot of background noise going on, and that could potentially be copyrighted. Hold on. And it may not seem like there's much of a difference between me moisturizing the hair, all this silky goodness, and this is just applying heat alone. From us running it through a blow dryer. But there's going to be a difference in you running your comb through it. There's going to be a difference of you running your brush through it. So I'm going to show you another section until this complete section is done. Now, you're seeing background noise is passed for now, so that way I can just go in depth and detail. You see how smooth and buttery that is? One application shea butter in those about 1 inch to 2 inch, half an inch sections. Right, when I say half an inch, 1.5 inch sections. There we go. And because I left it part of the way textured and straightened at the top and then straightened at the bottom, I left the middle kind of somewhat smooth but textured. I still wanted to give silk press. And applying shea butter, that just locks everything in. I love that. All right, so we're on our last section of this side. Now I want you to watch me apply it again. There's a reason why I'm doing this, is because I want you to be able to get it. I want you to be able to get it. Because there's some people's like, well, why is she putting this on here? Or how's the application? I want you to watch me and have a notebook. Take notes. All right, I think the background noise is gone for a minute, so let me talk to you. So we just finished this last section here. You see how silky smooth that baby is? I'm gonna turn it to the side, because I want you to see. Now you seen me make my mistakes, which is why I don't ever edit them out. God used to tell me that early in the channel. Don't keep that mistake. Why? People need to see that. Because you might make those mistakes and start combing up here and then wonder why you're running into tangles. Yep. We have finished, so now we're moisturizing this baby before we get into official styling, whenever that shall be. Yep. This is a process. If you want it to look good, you got to put time into it. You got to make time. We're applying shea butter. I'm teaching how to moisturize synthetic hair. Some people think that's an oxymoron, but it's not. If you apply product to it and this seals the cuticle in, because shea butter is such a rich, decadent, buttery goodness. Too bad it's not edible. So use it for skin, hair, all that. I don't believe it's edible, but it's good to make that skin, it stays on your skin a long time. It's good to make that skin look good. It's good to make that hair look good. And I didn't think it would ever help putting in synthetic hair of all things. So I got God to thank for that. It's definitely giving silk and press. There's a reason why I said it like that. Like that. Now, I want you to see the difference between no moisturization versus moisturization. One application of shea butter. This is immediate application, no application. You see it looks smooth because we just only apply heat to this section for those that were there for that. If not, you can locate that on the channel. It's up. And then day-old application. This has only been about 24 hours. That baby still looks smooth. When I say baby, I'm referring to the wig. Okay. You should still be able to run your comb through that like that. See? So we're not only moisturizing the synthetic hair, I'm also showing you you're going to have manageability. You're not likely to have tangles. You know how they be like selling human hair tangle free, and then synthetic hair is almost like everyone expects for it to tangle. Yeah, it's time for synthetic hair to stop tangling too. It matters how you handle it. It matters what you apply on the hair. It matters. This one feels a bit thicker. Okay. We're just making sure we moisturize this. The lace closure is already handled and taken care of. So now, I'm finna show you with this section. Now we have to be careful because I would twist it up, but I don't want it to take shape of the braids. So you have to be careful. So, what we're going to have to do is the same method we did with this side that we just got to do finishing. We're going to section it off and then braid whatever section, braid the section we're not using off to the side to keep from gathering all three of these sections together. That way we just have a very streamlined, easy process. We're working smarter, not harder, okay? That's what we're doing. I'm gonna still detangle it even though it's dry, and the only thing that's been applied to it on this particular section is heat. Okay. Oh, I see flyaways. I'm not complaining, I'm not complaining. I said I wouldn't complain. I'll try not to complain. So that's what we're gonna do. But this is also a way to get rid of them flyaways. Good way. Because if you're kind of leery about gel and leery about edge booster and not edge, just edge control in general, you're leery about, oh, well, what if it has a white cast? Then this is a good alternative. Now, is shea butter gonna slick your edges down? No, you might still need a good edge control or a good gel. But this is why I've been led to share about, look at the ingredients on the bottles, babies. Please do that. If alcohol is in it, it's gonna dry your hair out and probably, you know, Them slick edges ain't gonna be slick for long. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you this because I love you. Just lightly braiding this section off to the side that I'm not currently applying any product to. And we're gonna put that off to the side. This is the section we're working with. We're now on the back and nape. We're in that back middle section. I want you to see how smooth that is because we ran some heat through it, but we straightened here at the top and at the bottom and maintained some texture throughout here. That way it looks neat when you part it. Same thing goes for the lace closure. Reason why I do that technique, straighten at the top, straighten at the bottom, smooth it out, but not all the way in the middle. Just keep that texture. Now, if you don't like texture like that, run that flat iron through it. Heat protectant if it's human hair. Be my guest, run it through there. So this is my personal preference. So if you don't like that, you want to straighten it all the way through, be my guest. I'm not saying you're required to do that. Just want to throw that out there. Just working the shea butter into my hands because if you apply it as is, you'll have clumps in the hair. In case many of you were wondering that. In case any of you were wondering that. Apply from top to bottom or bottom to top. And then you run it down. You smooth it down the shaft of the hair. It keeps falling back, so I've just accepted that. This is immediate application. The other side is 24-hour, about 24-hour application. The shea butter is what you're seeing me run through my hands. And then applying it to the hair. Just because I'm running it through my hands don't mean that, oh, you used it up. No, it's still in my hand. This stuff stay in hair. This stuff stay in skin. It stays in its natural form. Now, I can't say that about, them putting shea butter in all the body care products. I see why they use it often. But I can say about the purest form of shea butter. Or it stays. I'm using whatever residues left on my hands. That's why you see me doing it like that. A certain way. I'm trying to get all that residue off my hand onto the hair on purpose. This stuff can get kind of not sticky, but just it locks in certain crevices. So be careful. That's why I apply it this way. Don't just grab a chunk and slip it on the hair. Baby, you'll be sitting there combing it through and mashing it throughout the hair for a while. This is how healthy hair should look. Not split ends. See how luscious they look? Very. It's giving that. be careful to not join it to this other section. That's a section all its own. So I'm gonna keep it right here, sort of in the middle, because that's where we started. And section off another piece. So we got to be a bit more choosy, for lack of a better word. Okay. All right, I'm going to section off what we're going to moisturize next. And we're going to braid off what we're not moisturizing just yet, because we want it out of the way. Otherwise, you're going to have tangles. All kinds of tangles. You don't want that. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I don't join it with this other end. See, that's shea butter. I haven't worked all the way through there. That hair. Be careful. All right, so put that off to the side. I want you to watch me one more time. Detangle hair, always. Detangle hair is the first step. Even if you feel like you have detangled it before. I done already combed through it. You'd be surprised when them tangles happen where you be like, you know what, I'm gonna just skip. I'm gonna just skip detangling the hair. No, ma'am. No. No, we're not doing that, baby. Detangle in every step. Because you see the way the comb is running through there? Because we were detangled from start to finish. Try your best to comb from bottom to top. I am hitting snags, so we know what that means. There we go. Just snipping the ends. We're not cutting the length of the hair. I'm making sure to repeat that on purpose. Because some people, they be like, oh, you getting ready to cut all that length of hair? And they be getting mad. Like, look, I'm cutting the ends only, not the length. That'd be crazy for me to do all that work and be cutting it up here. Lies you tell. I was just trying to make sure they're not blunt ends. We don't need blunt ends. Okay. Just running this comb through here a little extra times. And once you're easily running that comb or that brush through it, I recommend a comb over a brush. Brush is more area to cover, so while you're brushing, it might latch and tangle all that into this, so comb. Pull these hairs out of it, they're getting in the shea butter. Gotta be careful with that. Rub this through your hands until it looks very clear, translucent, and then it's still on my hand. It just makes for easier application so you don't have the white residue upon applying it. Once you start working this through this hair and using this method, you're not likely to have any white residue. I've never had any white residue. Thanks be to God. Okay, well, you see it got some of it. And I apply it right at the top too. I wanted to shine from the top to the bottom. But this is going to give you a natural shine, not that unhealthy, artificial, synthetic hair shine. Nope, that's what matters, what type of hair you buy. That's me getting shea butter. Working it through my hands. Until it's clear. It's still on my hands. Camera don't do it justice. Still got some of it on our hands. I could feel it. So you can't necessarily see it, but you could feel it on your hands. You see I'm working in some smaller sections, some bigger sections. And that's just to apply it in certain areas. Okay, I think we've coated it to a certain point. Now we join together both these sections we've done in the middle portion. And we're just gonna comb and blend them together. Smooth that baby looks. This is immediate application. This is application after about a good 45 minutes. So you're seeing it. I feel like over here need a little bit. So let me add to it. And with practice, you'll get better with this type of stuff. Definitely will. Just applying a little bit more. Okay. All right, so immediate application, about 45 minutes application. You're literally seeing this in real time. And I'm so glad. Healthy hair should be silken together like this. Yeah. Now, we got one more section here that we're gonna split into several. I don't necessarily like doing the bigger sections because all the hair won't be. I need to be able to thoroughly apply it through each and every section, so smaller is the way to go. smaller sections. Being very careful about how I braid this loose section here. Just simply putting it to the side until we can get to it. I'm just very lightly braiding it because I don't want it to take the shape of the braid just yet. The camera don't do it justice, but you can literally see where kind of dry, so it looks a tad bit lighter versus moisturized. That shea butter. And no matter what, we're always detangling first before we head into the next thing we're doing. It seems like a small piece, but just kind of starting gradual. Yeah, we're getting a guap. A guap is a large amount. Anytime you see me using that term, let's put it here, a little bit here. And don't worry about it, because after you get done with this, you can just wash it off your hands to kind of get that some of that greasiness off. Because shea butter is a tad bit greasy. Cocoa butter is, that's a different grade. That's a different level. I just love the way that it just melts. Just melts with your natural body temperature. That's fine. Okay. So now you might see a lot of that residue on it, but we're gonna take care of that in a little bit. with your hands and a good comb. Something got on my pants, but I just throw these in the wash and that's fine. We'll be fine. At the same time you're doing this, you're making the hair smell good. I think I'm gonna link that video to this one. How to perfume your hair with it, cause yeah, you want your hair to stay smelling good, and whatever you apply in synthetic hair, it stays. So you have to be careful. Don't go there and stand in front of that stove and fry nothing you don't in your synthetic hair. Now some stuff you can't help because you're wearing braids, but you can kind of rectify that. It's gonna take some extra steps. You don't want your hair to be smelling like last night dinner. Okay, you do not. You can't see it. There's still some shea butter on my hair. They're still on my hand. I'm just applying little smaller bits of stuff. BITS. Smaller pieces is what that means. There's certain areas that don't have the shea butter that I feel needed. That's me locating shea butter where it looked like the white residue. Take your time, go in there and mash and work it out. Mash that stuff out and into the hair, blend it in. Not rub it in. You don't want to rub nothing in with synthetic hair. Tangling, that's why. Let's see what somebody left in the comment. I always be interested to see what it means. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Sir, We don't do it tobacco over here, baby. We don't do that. We don't do that. I'm starting to think trolling is occurring at certain points. We don't do that. I have no dealings with that. Nothing. Okay, so we've gotten about half done of this middle section alone. So we're making it through. That's good. All right, so time for us to get ourselves another section to moisturize. We'll still detangle it even though we haven't applied any product to this particular section over the other sections. Be careful we don't join that together with the other sections where the product is on there. We're using shea butter, not nothing else. Shea butter only. I wouldn't even recommend applying. I mean, you can. Cocoa butter is it's a whole different category. I don't know about that. I have to comb that through again. Put that off to the side. Now we got ourselves another section to moisturize. I just want you to watch how I do it. We detangle them first before we do it at all. I'll start with just smaller pieces here of this shea butter. You're working from the bottom up. You want to make sure that you can work the shea butter through all the strands over there. It's very important for you to take your time. Get some of this hair caught up, but it'll be fine. Okay. Getting those ends taken care of first. base. You can curl a synthetic wig. You just made me think about. I ain't gonna say it. Don't worry. You can. Low heat only. You want to use low heat only when you're curling a synthetic wig. Because too high heat, it'll melt. I found out the hard way. I'm telling you this because I love you. Don't raise the heat level with synthetic wigs, with synthetic hair. Don't do it. Because it's going to melt, and it's not going to melt like cheese. It's going to be worse. Yeah. Excellent question, by the way, Christina. Excellent question. Ooh, don't fall. Don't fall on me. Don't fall on me. Okay. Okay. Let's take us another section of this shea butter before we apply. Okay. You want to flatten out the hair as much as possible. Now with curly hair, you might have to take it like strand by strand, not literally, but just like grab about this much if you're working with curly textured hair. And then that's how you'll get it really defined. And I'm speaking from experience with it. And watch for lint. That's with human and synthetic hair. And since we start at the bottom, we're just working our way up, quite literally. That's why you want to take your time, because you want that application, even application, all the way from top to bottom of that hair shaft. So what I'm saying about synthetic hair rings true with the human hair. Now I'm not sure if it defines curls or it causes longevity of defined curls for human hair. So that's why I'm not saying much about human hair. I'm a person that if I haven't tried it, I ain't gonna recommend it till I done tried it. It's the honest way to do it. And the best way to do it. Some areas I see that kind of ain't got it. So that's what you have to take your time. Apply and use the comb when needed to detangle. You'll be fine. And when we apply heat, we're going to definitely apply heat after this at a certain point. It's going to help lock it in and seal it in further for it to last longer. But you don't, heat is not required for this, let me say it this way. Heat is not required as far as synthetic hair is concerned. It's not required for for the shea butter to last the longest for a couple weeks in the hair. But if you just want to kind of speed that up a little bit, you can use heat. Get it? No? It's okay. Rewind it back. And do research if you have to. I like doing that research. I encourage people to do that too. So ooh, hold on. Get some residue here. All you do is just mash it and we'll just smooth it down the shaft of the hair, and it's blended in there. You're just locking it in. Okay, and so we're gonna comb it in and blend it in with the rest of the section where we've done the same, where we've also worked shea butter through the hair. It's just making it uniform, that's all. And I like to do this before any type of styling because I done tried it the other way. Yeah. So I'm braiding our section here that has not yet been applied. Nothing has been applied to it. And we're going to detangle it first. Don't follow me. Give me a moment here. Hold on. It's kind of checking something here. Okay, now I think I'm going to split this one more time and put that over there, up and out of the way. I almost was just going to do it as a whole piece, but it's a no for me. It's a no. A little extra here. little shea butter, so that's what this stuff is. You see me working through my hands. This is what has this silky goodness going on. That's what has it giving silk press. Go ahead and comb this residue out. Sometimes you have to use your hands, so just be prepared for that. Let's go. Okay, we are hitting an area. Okay, is this sufficient enough? Nope. At least not for me. I see where more needs to be added. This is why you have to use your own judgment as to how much you should be applying on there. All right. So, oh, okay. Hold on. Missed an area. And I guess we can make this our official last section of this middle section. I want you to just keep watching to see how I do it. With practice, you can get your own rhythm with this type of thing. Okay. Trying to keep this hair off my hands. I think it's like attracting it to the hair. Let's get this hair off my hands so we can focus. Okay. That's me rubbing it in. Rubbing it in doesn't take it off my hands. What takes my hand is applying it to hair. Make sure we don't have any white residue from the shea butter. See how thick that is. Yeah. Can't nobody but God to thank for that. This also cuts down on the flyaways too. Now, because this is the middle section and I don't yet want to blend it with this and the other side, we are going to lightly braid it. And I'm going to show you what to do with this at this stage, if you're at this stage. And if you're not, that's fine. You just take notes for the future. That's fine. You'll be all right. Split it into 3. Whatever sections you want, and just don't pull it taut, because you don't want it to take the shape of you braiding it out of the way. Because if you don't have a hair tie, you need to be braiding the sections of hair out of the way so they don't intertwine and mingle with the other sections. That is why I do that, in case you're wondering. Until I'm ready for it to come to this section, we're gonna just braid it out of the way. Or plait. I keep saying braid. We'll plait it out of the way. Okay. So, oh, I forgot to include this other. Look, sis. Now you got to undo it for real. I was getting ready to comb this section to a completely different section. There we go. Easy fix. Include that into one of the 3 pieces of hair. Then keep moving. You don't want to pull too tight. And comb through the hair, the sections of the hair you're working with, plaiting if you need to. You want everything to just be smooth, and a comb could easily run through it. A brush, any styling tool can easily run through it. You don't want it, you don't want tangles. So we're just plaiting this section out of the way for now. You can see that this stuff has risen up quite a bit. It's kind of bunched up. But once once we get into securing the wig, after we done styled it, it should fall back into place. If you're just joining, this is how, if you're just joining, this is how you moisturize synthetic hair, braiding hair, synthetic wigs. So just to keep it longer. Now, unless you like it textured and kind of dry, you're going to have to run heat through it as opposed to running heat through it first, which I recommend, then adding shea butter. It'll come out better that way. And I'm saying that from experience. So, to walk you through the sections, this is about an hour to 2 hours old. We just applied it. This is what we started with. We ended on the back section, which is probably another 30 minutes old. And this section is about 24 hours old. What am I saying to you? You're seeing different variations of how long this shea butter lasts in this hair. This has been in for about 24 hours because I did that right after I finished the wig yesterday. 24 hours and it's still going strong. And to show you the power of shea butter has been in this closure, which is approximately 5 by 5, maybe a little bit larger. It's been in for at least a week and some change, a week and some days. I still see some, this is where I still see some flyaways, but for the most part, that hair still smells like the shea butter. I used the perfumed shea butter on this particular section. And so whenever you see me plaiting certain sections, is to keep it out the way from the current, from whatever section I choose, and I'm led to choose, that I'll be working on. Now, even at this point, I'm not yet done. I'm trying to see what I want to do next, because now we have it moisturized. It's looking like a silk press. It's giving it, at least to me, it's giving it. We applied heat first, which sealed the knots and smoothed it out a little bit. When we sealed everything in with shea butter, which stays in the hair for weeks. Kind of, you know, you get your money's worth. That's why I say, don't just buy the wig, learn how to take care of the wig. That's the part that's going to have you to save coins. You're going to save a lot of money learning how to take care of these wigs, whether they're human or synthetic. Because I've made the mistakes. Okay. It's nice and fragrant. Shea butter got its own scent as it is. It just smells so good. Who don't want their hair to smell good, though? That's all I'm saying. So now we're at this point, and I'm going to purposely leave the back and the front braided and sectioned off because we have to determine what we're going to do to it next. I don't know when I'm going to be back, but I shall be back. You know what to do if you would like to see a continuation of this. appreciate y'all for spending your time with me, because that is precious and that is something you cannot get returned back to you. Except for one way. God knows what that is.